I'm not sure Twiggy's worked out yet. She's never going to catch a squirrel. Hello one and all, and welcome to Seen Through Glass. Welcome to one of my favourite parts of the UK, the New Forest. Even on a fairly misty and foggy morning like today, I think this place is just stunning. Yes, I did just pour Volvic for my dog, mainly because it was the only water I had, but even worse, she doesn't even want it. But anyway, as stunning as this place is, it's not the ideal place to drive a Lamborghini. There are some amazing roads in the New Forest, but there's also a ton of wildlife, thousands of free-roaming horses and cows and deer and squirrels, so yeah, speed and sound, not a good idea here. And this car is so loud, I nearly caused like 4 stampedes on the way here this morning. So yeah, you can cruise around and take in the scenery, but yeah, you don't really want to drive anywhere that fast. So yes, whilst we are starting today's video here in the New Forest, we're actually not sticking around. Sit down, Twiggy. Sit down. Because we're going to head to the Isle of Wight for a bit of exploring. I've got a ferry to catch in an hour or so. So we're going to head back to the hotel where we stayed last night, give Twiggy some breakfast, have some breakfast myself, and then get out exploring. I know I'm here in a Lambo, but I couldn't not pull over for this. Meridian Modena in Lyndhurst, I think we're in. Lovely F12, 16M, F8, Testarossa. Look at this, there's a bloody Formula 1 car here. Look at this Roma. Oh, and there's a Pista Pelotti, 812 GTS, and oh! And there's an SF90. Oh, it's all kicking off. It's all kicking off. Oh, there's 2 SF90s. Oh my god, this is just stunning. Not really sure where this rain has come from, but it's not ideal because I didn't pack a jacket. It's supposed to be really hot this week, and yeah. Now, if you didn't know, Lamborghini Huracan famously has a tiny boot. I mean, this is my camera bag, and that's pretty much all I can take with me anywhere, but I am on a road trip, and I was obviously staying overnight, so I have this tiny little, I don't even know what you would call that, bag, which we have to sort of squish down onto there, and you can just about close it. Twiggy has her own little carry bag for the Huracan because we might do some speed later. I wanted it to be nice and secure, so yeah, this is this kind of sturdy thing. She sits in there pretty cozily. I move the seat forward and it holds it in place. She actually goes to sleep in there pretty happily, and then I can put all my camera gear down there. So a fairly good setup for a relatively unpractical car. Can actually get away with quite a bit, or at least use it in quite an easy way on a day like today. Well, I've made it to the ferry. An interesting development. The man that checked my tickets looked at this car and went, do you mind if it gets scratched? I can't tell if he was doing a bit of classic British humour or whether it's going to be a bit tight. He looked genuinely worried. I said, it's got lift. He was like, ah, use that. So now I'm crapping myself. I mean, what's it going to be like on there? It can't be that bad, can it? We're about to find out. Anyway, various crossings that you can do to the Isle of Wight. I've chosen a slightly more niche one. It's Lymington to Yarmouth. And that's because it drops me into a sort of part of Isle of Wight that I want to explore first. So yeah, I think the crossing's like 30, 45 minutes, as long as I actually make it on. Oh, I'm really nervous now. Okay, that was easy. We've now made made it to the Isle of Wight. For foreign viewers, this is still part of the UK. There are actually many islands around the UK, and some of them really, really nice. I haven't actually been to the Isle of Wight since I was about 7, so I can't remember if it's really nice. I'm certain it is. Like, it's going to be really nice. But yeah, I just don't really know what to expect. So we're going to get out and just explore and see what we can find. Hopefully some good driving roads. But first up, this is seen through glass. Let's go find some coffee. Well, I have to say, I'm super excited and encouraged by the Isle of Wight straight away. Firstly, all the little towns and villages I passed through just to get to this point were super picturesque, but then that is Bay Cafe. Oh God, the escape artist is on the move again. Twiggy, Twiggy. She wants to go for a walk, which I understand, but just stay, we're going in a second. Yeah, Bay Cafe, Totland Pier. Such a cool vibe. I really wanted to stay there. You could sit out on the pier itself. They had cool music. The food menu looked amazing. But we've got lots to see today, lots to explore. And I've noticed we're sort of approaching a quarter of a tank in this car. Now, it costs about 100 quid to fill up, and it does disappear very quickly. I don't want to be that guy like complaining about the fuel economy in a supercar, but putting 100 quid of fuel in this Huracan, it seems to disappear in about half a second. And you might think a quarter of a tank is still quite a lot to go, but I can tell you, it's going to go real quick. So yeah, I think we're going to try and find fuel, and I'm going to try and head to a super scenic, picturesque point where I can take Twiggy for a bit of a walk. I think it's called The Needles, or just Needles. Anyway, we'll find out. I'm going to tuck into this coffee, and then yeah, find some fuel. Well, this is not The Needles, this is the military road. I got to The Needles and it felt like a bit of a tourist trap, more of a theme park than a point of natural beauty. So yeah, I bailed, not my kind of thing. And I feel like I made the right choice, because the military road is not only stunning, it's also wide and flowing and good for this Lamborghini, which some of the early roads weren't. I actually got a bit nervous because they were very tight and narrow, and I thought I've definitely bought the wrong car to the Isle of Wight. But yeah, now I'm here, I'm like, it's all starting to make sense. And I have to say, I'm fairly surprised at how good this car's turning out to be at being a grand tourer. One thing I did not expect to say today, because in my mind, the Huracan, well in fact all Lamborghinis are fairly impractical and uncomfortable, and yeah, whilst I've shown that if I had a passenger with me or any more luggage I would be screwed on this trip, and it has taken me about 4 or 5 days to set up this seat to the point where it's comfortable, out here today, right now, it is comfortable, and I can climb up the gears and just poodle along and look out the window, and I'm in sport mode and the suspension isn't too stiff, and yeah, it's really good, it's fun. And if you're new to the channel, welcome, my name's Sam. Subscribe if you would like. If you like these videos, there's more of this style coming soon, and there's plenty of similar videos in my back catalogue. But yeah, what you won't know is that whenever I drive a convertible, I kind of have a rule for myself, which is to never drive with the roof up. Doesn't matter what the weather conditions are, always put the roof down. And I'm going against that rule today, because, well, it's a very expensive car, and it's light drizzle. I could get away with the roof down, but it's not mine, it's expensive. Twiggy's here, and yeah, but what is great about the Huracán EVO Spyder, just like so many other modern day Spyders, is you can drop this kind of rear window just there, which means you get all of the pops, the bangs, the crackles, the exhaust sound without getting wet. So yeah, as I say, I mean, this car turning out to be fantastic for cruising in, for exploring in. Mental. This is turning out to be just a complete fail. This is the iconic, I'm going to call it, Sandown Pier, sort of a real go-to for Isle of Wight family holidays. And I mean, just look at these poor people. It is a disaster. Sure, I'll borrow the Huracán Spyder, I said. September in the UK, it'll probably be beautiful. I'll get out and show what this country's all about. Yeah, I don't really mind that it's raining, if I'm honest. It's just the fact that I'm so unprepared for it. The weather report said it was going to be a beautiful, clear blue sky day today. So I had no jacket, I've got no umbrella, I've got a baseball cap, that's about it. So it means getting in and out of the car to set up cameras and leave cameras by the side of the road, it's all very, very difficult. And on top of that, I can't really exploit this car that much. So whilst I'm enjoying kind of exploring the Isle of Wight in these crappy conditions, it's not exactly the video I'd planned. So I'm going to hope that this weather is going to blow through, and I'm going to kill some time by doing a bit more food vlogging. Matthew from Treacle, the guys who design my website, do a lot of design work for me. They are amazing. Apparently he spends a lot of time here. He just sent me a message saying go check out The Hut. So I gave them a call, and apparently they've got a table for one in an hour. So I've got to drive back to the other side of the island. No bad thing. Well, yeah, we'll see what The Hut is all about, and then hopefully afterwards the weather would have dried out a bit and I can get out and see some more sights, show you some more sights, and put the roof down and enjoy this car. Fingers crossed. I am enjoying this car, but you know what I mean.
There's nothing wrong with that. Tripping, yeah, we all lose track. I wouldn't mind it if I find it. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't have to be an acrobat. I wouldn't mind it. Should I find it?
Fish tacos, crab salad, and one very needy dog. Twiggy, grow up. Well, that was absolutely mega. Huge thanks to Matthew, because apparently you have to book that place months in advance. I just called on the off chance and they gave me a bar stool. The food was incredible, but the vibe, I kind of wish I could capture more of the vibe, but obviously copyright strikes and things like that because of music. But yeah, super cool. Could have stayed there all afternoon, but look at this. The weather has kind of cleared up, at least it stopped raining. So yeah, time to head back to the Huracan, I think get the roof down, finally get into Corsa mode. Now, funnily enough, an old friend and fellow YouTuber, Jamie FYD, lives on the Isle of Wight, and I totally forgot. For some reason I thought he lived in Portsmouth, but he just messaged me saying, dude, I live in the Isle of Wight, why didn't you tell me you're coming? So he's on his way to come and find me and to show me some decent driving roads. I think we're only going to be able to get to, or get back to, the military road I was on earlier, because it's 5 minutes down the road. I've got to leave to get my ferry in about an hour, and there were more clouds coming. So yeah, anyway, it's going to be great to see him. Maybe he can help with a little bit of filming or show some other little bits of roads, but who cares? I need to experience this car before I leave, like experience it properly. In Corsa mode, basically. I was just talking about you! I was just talking about you.
What car, friend?
Look at you bringing the matching spec. Wow. Now, I don't know if Jamie knows that I'm not the biggest M4 fan. We'll keep that quiet. How? Yeah, I mean, I would say it's not mine, don't worry, but I don't know what would happen with Lambo if I said, oh, someone bashed it.
Yeah.
How you doing, pal?
Nice to hear that, mate.
Good to see you, mate.
It's all right, mate. Do you know what? You're in the perfect location for this car, because this is the right bit of you down here, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I kind of sensed that. I just stopped at this restaurant over there.
Yeah.
I could have been on the King's Road.
Yes, you literally, right? So
Yeah.
you get this, right? This this place here, you bring your boat in, right? You come down, you park up, and then a little boat comes out to get you, and then it comes to the restaurant. That's literally what this place is.
I really like that.
It's really, really cool. I would recommend it for anybody out there that wanted to
get ripped off.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how much the little boat trip is from your own actual boat to the actual pub itself.
No.
Oh no, you probably won't say pub. It's
definitely a fine dining
establishment.
Experience. There we go.
That's what it is.
Well, dude, look, the clouds are sort of coming.
Do you know, that way it is the nicest day ever. All the way down here, it's great.
Well, I seem to have spent all of the day down here. I've just spent the day in drizzle, and this car in Strada mode with the roof up. So
you want to whip it over to that Corsa, don't you?
Yeah, mate. I need. I've got an hour until I got to head to the ferry. So
mate, we've got some of the best driving roads on the Isle of Wight. Literally 5 minutes away that way.
I'll follow you.
Literally that way.
I'll follow you. Here we go then. Finally, we can experience what this car is really all about, because whilst it has been surprisingly good at cruising around the Isle of Wight, in my mind, this is one of the last true supercars in existence. And Lamborghini may be one of the last true supercar makers, because whilst Ferrari, McLaren, even Porsche are kind of dulling down their products, releasing more cars than ever and making them all kind of feel and look the same, Lamborghini only make the Huracan, the Aventador and the Urus. Okay, there are a few versions of each and a couple of hypercar specials, but it's a small choice, and all of them fairly outrageous. Okay, I've made this car kind of work for me on this trip. I've bought the perfect amount of luggage. Twiggy's cage fits perfectly in that seat. But as I said earlier, if I had anyone else with me or any more luggage, I'd be screwed. And yes, I've made it comfortable, but it did take me 4 or 5 days to get this seating position to a point where it didn't break my back. And the thing is, they have made it a little bit more, I don't know what, accessible with Strada mode. But as I proved last week when I was driving around London, switch to Sport and this car comes alive, switch to Corsa and it's just a monster. This is the 4-wheel drive Huracan. I don't know if it's the best configuration or not. Obviously it started as a 4-wheel drive beast, and whilst rear-wheel drive might be a bit more exciting and engaging, there's something about having this sort of original concept that, I don't know, I quite like. Just make sure I get out of this turn all right. Yeah, there we go. I said last week that sport mode was the ultimate mode for this car, but no, it's all about Corsa. The gear changes in sport are so smooth, you don't notice them. You have no idea they're happening. So you have to go into Corsa, which does make things pretty firm. But, as I say, supercar, listen to this. Dude, thank you so much.
That's right, mate. Isle of Wight Riviera, right?
Oh,
I mean,
Isle of Wight.
The spaghetti going up the hills, and it's lovely, isn't it?
This road, I can imagine early in the morning when there's less traffic.
6 AM any day. This road is biblical. In the summer, it's unbelievable. Yeah. And they repaved it, what, 5 years ago now? Doesn't get any better than that.
It's a stunner. Your car is super loud, by the way.
Thank you. It's got a Papa Bang map on it, so it's pretty aggressive.
I think it was popping and banging more than the Huracan.
In the edit, sorry in advance, because it's like bang, 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 sharp, 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 sharp.
Anyway, absolutely mega and super cool to have a car to follow, and great to finally get this car into Corsa mode. So yeah, I think I should probably head to the ferry.
Yes, you should, mate.
Buddy, good to see you.
Enjoy
We've got to do this again soon.
100%, mate.
Well, I think that brings an end to my Isle of Wight adventure. The day has not gone as planned, but it's ended up being pretty mega and made extra special by that kind of final blast with Jamie FYD just then. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and it just proves that I've got to get back here and explore some more. What do I think about this car? Well, you know what? It has surprised me. You know, it's not as uncomfortable and unpractical as I remembered. It is still, though, flawed in many ways, which kind of makes it great. Would I have one? I don't think I would, because I'm not really a modern Lambo guy. I sort of toy with the idea of an old school Gallardo. That's because I like modern classics and I like the old boxy shape. But this thing is brilliant and I understand it and I see the appeal, and as I say, it's got so many things about it which kind of I do like. I just don't think the Lambo brand is particularly me right now. But if you're into these things, I think the EVO is potentially the best Huracan I've driven or experienced. And the Spyder's, yeah, great, even when it's raining. So yeah, big thumbs up from me from today for the experience and for the car. So thank you, Lamborghini. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you stay subscribed for plenty more videos to come.